fucking, you know, and he'll help you get back on the wagon, you know?
Phoebe Plummer, the one who poured soup onto Van Gogh's sunflowers. She appeared on State of the Nation earlier this year.
Quite frankly, I'm not a scientist. What I'm doing is I'm looking at the...
Dude, look, bro, that's got to be intentional, man. Come on. Look at that. That is ridiculous. This is like propaganda levels. You know, nice, well-presented, posh gentleman, posh school teacher-like guy, trustworthy. Cut to pink-haired feminist cunt. Oh my God.
We're living the effects of the climate.
6 months in prison for engaging in a slow march. The United Nations, at a time when you'd thought they'd have been busy with things going on around the world and the turmoil that there is, has taken the bizarre decision to get involved in this domestic dispute, claiming the UK's sentences of such protesters could be in breach of international law. Well, I'm now joined by Just Stop Oil spokesman Cameron Ford. Cameron, thank you for coming in. I mean, although I don't think this is any of the UN's business, and it's not a matter of international law, our criminal justice system, Phoebe's gone to prison for 6 months. That seems a long time.
Yeah, it is. I mean, this country...
I love that. It's like he's at the fucking headmaster's office. This is brilliant. This is so perfectly set up. I love it. I need to watch more of this guy's content. I didn't know he's on GB News. This is top tier content, man.
Yeah, it is. I mean, this country, as the UN is pointing out, is not allowing the cornerstone of democracy in government are doing to us right now.
What I've said to your other spokesman is, why don't you stand for election?
Because it doesn't work. Jacob, how much money is behind you? How much money did the Tories get from the fossil fuel industry?
The amount of money that you can spend in a general election is strictly limited by law.
System that means for a Green MP to get in, you've got to get 2 million votes, and for a Tory one, 20,000. The system's broken.
That's not true at all.
Everyone is disenfranchised with Parliament.
But that's not true at all. To win in this country,
you're not going to win against the headmaster. Okay, you might think you got it all laid out. The headmaster will always win. I've learned that many times.
You have to win in an individual constituency. And the Labour Party...
How much money do you need to run a decent campaign? The issue is that 60 to 70% of people don't feel the government is doing enough to tackle the climate crisis.
Well, stand for election and then you'd win. If this is what people think...
That's bollocks if you think that we don't have democracy. We don't.
I'm sorry, you're not allowed to... I'm sorry to be boring, but you're not allowed to use that sort of language, say, to my viewers who are saying...
Yes, let's go, based! That sort of language is not appropriate.
Sensitive souls and to Ofcom.
Well, I appreciate
I'm sorry for the language.
After the sensitive souls by trying to get your government to start acting on the climate crisis.
Because this is probably before the watershed, the rules are you're not allowed to broadcast swearing before 9 PM. So he actually does have to say that for the sake of the news programme. It's just funny. It's like very headmaster-esque, isn't it? That I do not think that is appropriate language. My viewers can be quite sensitive. It's so bad.
Well, we've reduced our emissions in this country by 40%, saying we're not going to use it.
We're living in the Victorian era. We've got new technology.
That was coal.
No, we're living so far. You're like a dinosaur back in the old ages. We've got
dinosaurs didn't have any of this.
We've got new technology. Okay, you're trying to keep us with a technology that is over 100 years old. It's so bonkers. Okay, get with the times. We can move forward, have cleaner, cheaper energy.
Okay, well, that's fantasy that we don't have that at the moment.
Because we subsidise fossil fuels.
We don't subsidise fossil fuels.
That's a lie.
No,
you just lied.
No,
we don't subsidise fossil fuels.
Will you tell me one subsidy we give to fossil fuels?
£235 million in subsidies.
What do you mean by subsidy?
By the money that they get as tax breaks that they would otherwise be paying.
No, this isn't a subsidy. A subsidy is when you pay somebody cash, when somebody doesn't pay tax because...
He's got him on a technicality! Let's go! The headmaster knows all the technicalities, okay? They're the biggest pedant you fucking know. You're not going to get him on that. You're not going to get the headmaster on this shit.
They are investing. That's not a subsidy. That's not a cash payment to them.
But there's no incentive for them to invest in green technology. Nowhere near the same way that they're encouraged to still dig up dead dinosaurs in the North Sea.
Pay a higher rate of tax than any other...
all the way over there and ship it over there. What about that?
We're going to have to draw to a close now, but thank you, Cameron. Before I hand back over to the panel, some interesting news emerged last week. A case of climate fanatics getting a taste of their own disruptive medicine.
We are destabilising the
Oh my god. That's brilliant. Fuck, I need to watch more of that guy. That's a good little palate cleanser situation, isn't it? I love it. Okay, this is the same guy he was into. This isn't the headmaster. I'll find a few clips of him to watch at choice opportune moments. Anyway, this is the guy that was just being interviewed. Here he is again here.
Morning, Mike.
Oh, hello. What are you glued to, Cameron?
Just your screen, unfortunately.
Unfortunately. What do you do for a living, Cameron?
I'm a carpenter.
A carpenter, right. So how safe is that for the climate?
Well, I work with timber, which is a much more sustainable material rather than concrete. I also
But you work with trees that have been cut down then, don't you?
It's a sustainable...
See, this guy's just desperate for a gotcha, isn't he? Do you notice that? This guy's desperate for a gotcha. He's nowhere close to the headmaster. But still, we'll see what happens.
building practice.
How is it sustainable if you're killing trees?
Because it's regenerative, you can grow trees.
Right. Well, you can grow all sorts of things, can't you?
Well, you can't grow concrete.
You can.
Oh, no.
See you, Cameron. Cheerio.
Oh, no!
That was Cameron. He grows trees and then cuts them down and then makes things from them. Brilliant. Marvellous. I don't think I ever want to talk to any of those people.
Oh, my God. That's so embarrassing for this guy. See, that's why you need the headmaster. That's what this guy was too desperate for a gotcha and he fucked up. He slipped up on dog shit and it went in his face. Whereas the headmaster would have subtly stepped over it in a very discreet manner. Rees Mogg is a guy who read the classics as a kid. This guy read Viz. Total lack of play. Hey, Viz is alright. I like Viz. God, it's that moment of realisation that's so cringe as well.
Well, you can't grow concrete.
You can.
Look at it. Oh, no.
See you, Cameron. Cheerio.
No.
That was Cameron. He grows trees and then cuts them down and then makes things from them. Brilliant. Marvellous. I don't think I ever...
Embarrassing. Right, anyway. Hey, speaking of YouTube. See you, Cameron. Just goes to show, sometimes, don't send in the supply teacher when you need the headmaster. Okay? Oh... There's some other drama that I've been seeing. Apparently,